What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Paul Talks Patriots. Drake Maye saw him for the first time, and boy did he impress. I'm excited. Future looks bright. Let's talk about it. Well, let me start off with, we got some surprising news yesterday. The Patriots released Nick Leverett. Now, does that really make sense? No, not at all. I'll keep it quick. I don't think this was the Patriots' decision. I think Nick Leverett did not like that he got replaced in the starting lineup, did not like that he didn't see the field last week and asked for his release. Even though it seemed like he wasn't really understanding center, I don't know why you don't keep him as a piece for guard position. Now you have So and you have Robinson, but Leverett seemed to play relatively well, at least when he was in at guard in the preseason. But I guess the Patriots want to roll with the young guys. Either way, not a big blow, even though our offensive line is easily the worst in the league. Leverett wasn't that good. Still a little surprising, but I think at the end of the day, it was his decision. Now, on to the good stuff. Drake Maye. I mean, you can't really ask for more out of a kid's first career start. Just turned 22, and he was dicing up a really good defense in the Houston Texans. And you look at the stats, you could argue he had the most success out of any quarterback that has played the Texans so far. That includes a man that he is compared to a lot, Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen. Maye's stat line finished 20 for 33 with 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. But he also contributed in the run game, something that we haven't really seen minus Cam Newton in a while. He had 5 carries for 38 yards in this game. I do want to hop into some film. I got 6 different plays that I want to show that really just describe how well of a job he did and also stuff he still has to work on. So this first one I'm going to show you is the beginning of the game. Now, a key part of the West Coast offense that we don't really use that much, Alex Van Pelt, take notes, is using motion at the beginning of the play. You're going to see a wide receiver come in motion here, and that identifies zone or man. If you see the cornerback goes with him, so that identifies man coverage because he stays with them. But watch these two. These are Drake's first 2 reads right here. And does a really good job of looking over there. Didn't like what he saw. And he has Pop in the middle there and has Polk down the bottom sideline. And decides to go to Pop. But look at Polk. He's got his man beat. And the only safety on the field is above Pop. Terrible throw. And ends up being an interception. Personally, I don't know why he didn't go for Polk there in man coverage. Polk has done a great job of beating man coverage this year. Especially in that situation, take the shot one-on-one. But if you look at the Kayshon Boutte touchdown later in the game, same situation. Texans are playing press man coverage. Boutte beats his man down the sideline and Maye hits him for that beautiful touchdown. So, yeah, he threw a really bad interception on this play, but learn from his mistake. I'm sure he went over, watched the film, saw what he missed out on with Polk running down the sideline, and made up for it later in the game by hitting Booty for that long touchdown pass. Play number 2. This is kind of just the jitters for it being his first game in the NFL. So you're going to have the tight end right here lined up close to the line of scrimmage. He's going to run a deep in and come across the middle of the field. Can see him right there. And look at Drake. Drake is working with a pretty good pocket there. You see him, he's got plenty of room there. And in front of him, yeah, the linebacker's coming up, but the running back's right there to get him. He still should have time to get this throw across. And if you watch, he has plenty of room to work with. Instead, Drake scrambles. Now, the tight end is wide open. He could have hit him there, I think. But the good thing about having the number 3 overall draft pick is he's got that athletic ability to get the first down with his feet. So it didn't end up being a negative play, but it would have been nice to see him stick in the pocket, use his big arm that he has to deliver a strike to the receiver in the middle of the field, especially when it's that wide open. The third film I want to show you is a 3rd and 11 here in the second quarter, I believe it was, and the Texans are showing a big blitz here, 6-man blitz lined up on the line of scrimmage, and you should know where your outlets are going to be if this is the case. The odds are they're dropping back in this situation, giving the field, even if they don't let up a first down, the Patriots are still out of field goal range, so they're probably not going to rush everyone. They'll probably drop back in coverage, but it's still good to know where your outlets are going to be. So you have your tight end right here that's going to run a little out route, and then you have your receiver who's also going to branch out a little bit here. And Maye, terrible blocking, by the way. Terrible blocking by Jacobs. Doesn't have anything there or on the other side of the field. And I'm surprised he didn't notice this pressure. I think he should have, considering he was looking towards the right side of the field most of the time. He could have just dumped it off there to the tight end or the running back and let them go to work. Let your playmakers make plays. But it looked like he was going for the deep shot there. Probably wasn't expecting pressure that quickly, but you're probably going to get that a lot when practice squad players are starting right tackle against one of the top edge rushers in the league. So I can't blame that completely on him, but when you're dealing with a crappy O-line, my point is know where your outlets are, your quick dump-off passes, because you're probably going to be needing to use them a lot. So that was something I think mainly Alex Van Pelt should tell Drake Maye to do. Just limit the amount your weaknesses are going to hurt your offense. So he had 2 options there that were wide open. Make that play. Hopefully Alex Van Pelt will help him learn that, but Maye also should know where his outlets are so he can make those quick passes when needed. The fourth play is another one where a receiver comes in motion. It's going to be Kendrick Bourne. They start the film a little late here, but you can still see the tail end of his motion. And you can tell it's zone coverage, just how they react. It's not like someone specifically lines up on Bourne, but they do change their coverage here. And look at this. You got a clean pocket, but everyone's covered. But watch Antonio Gibson right in front of the line here. This is a great play by Drake. He's going to look to his right and see Gibson and his receiver behind him covered right here. The defender is committed to him, which leaves no one for Gibson. A defender was glued. Drake steps up in the pocket and is able to get a clear lane to deliver the pass to Gibson. And again, let your playmakers make plays. It seems really simple, but the fact that Drake was able to move up in the pocket and have that awareness in there with pressure, clean pocket, but when you're in there that long, you're still feeling pressure. And he steps up and delivers a really good throw to Antonio Gibson. Now we have the fifth play. This one was an incomplete pass to Austin Hooper, if you guys remember that. If not, you're about to see it anyways. But his fundamentals weren't too good on this play. And it wasn't a problem really that much during the game. But this was one instance where it was. And you're going to see he's looking for Hooper across the field. But he's dealing with pressure from his blind side right here. And I don't know if he notices it out of the corner of his eye and it throws him off. But the pass is behind Hooper and it results in an incomplete. And he should have made this pass. It was wide open. But if you watch the left side of the line, right here, you have a 3-on-2, and you can kind of maybe see it out of the corner of his eye. I'm guessing he gets nervous and throws it away. Watch his fundamentals here. Instead of stepping forward, he kind of steps to the side, and his foot is aimed in the right direction, I would say, but his weight is not going forward on that foot. It's going to the sides more, and it just creates an off-balance throw. You can see he kind of moves to the side there to avoid the hit, and the ball ends up going to the same side he leans to when he throws. So, again, that's just something that Drake needs to work on. I think once he gets used to getting hit, he'll be like, okay, I can get hit and get back up. After this game, he definitely did that a couple of times, so he just needs to get adjusted to playing in the NFL. The hits are going to be harder, but the kid is tough. I'm not questioning his toughness right now, but that's just something he's going to have to get used to, is staying in there and delivering a throw. I think it is something that he did get more comfortable doing as the game went on, but it was still a problem at some points. And then the final play I want to show you is really impressive to me. This is just Maye going through all of his reads, and you wouldn't notice it watching the game, but it's really impressive. Alright, so this is a great pass by Drake Maye in that final drive. After that handoff that started the final drive in the second quarter that no one has any clue why Alex Van Pelt did. But Drake Maye really clutched up with this throw here I wanted to show you. Now, just watch the way he goes through his progressions here. So he's going to have two receivers at the bottom of the screen, doesn't like it, looks over the middle real quick, and delivers to Pop Douglas. And look at the yards after catch Douglas gets. That's why he's so good. But watch this. Maye is going to be dealing with pressure right here. You can see he's looking to those two guys that were at the bottom of the screen in the last view. And right here, he looks to the middle real quick. And at this point, he knows there's nowhere to go and the pocket's going to collapse on him. But quickly knows where Douglas is going to be. They just have a good connection, probably from practicing so much together. Quickly turns, throws it to only where Douglas can get it. And yeah, Drake hit a beautiful ball to Kayshon Boutte. But that play, which was kind of overlooked on the drive because everyone saw the Boutte touchdown, that play kept the drive going and got them in a position to take that shot down the field for the touchdown. So That's not something that a lot of rookies can do, and especially in their first game, let alone their whole rookie season. That takes time a lot. A lot of rookies will do 1 to 2 progressions and then get nervous and scramble, which Maye did do sometimes, but the fact that he was able to go through that progression and get to his 4th option for a really big gain is very impressive. But now that we are done with Drake, I do want to talk about our offensive line because it was terrible again. Not too much because I'm not just going to beat a dead horse, we all know. But Vederian Lowe, I'm not going to lie, I was just as excited to see him play as I was almost as excited to see Drake Maye play, because Vederian, after last week, performed really well. I wanted to see how he could perform against some legit pass rushers, that being Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. Obviously, he got hurt. Not sure how long he'll be out, but it looked like it hurt. I'm not going to lie. It looked like it's probably some type of sprain, which, if it's not bad, could be a week or 2. If it's really bad, he could be out over a month. So we'll just have to wait and see. But he did play pretty well. He did. In the limited time he got, he played pretty well. And this is why I'm starting to think twice that we'll just draft a left tackle at the top of the draft. All depends how far out Vederian Lowe is from coming back. You can't just base that on one game he had against backups against the Dolphins and the 2 or 3 drives he had against the Texans. But if he comes back and can put a couple games together against some legitimate pass rushers, I don't think the Patriots look at left tackle as heavily as people originally thought they would before going into this season. Outside of that, Mike Onwenu played okay, which is unacceptable given the amount of money we paid that guy. He's one of the top, if not the top, paid guard in the NFL. And you can stick him at tackle, but he's built to play guard this year. They told him to bulk up. You can see he is bulky. And he needs to be more than all right, especially given the circumstances of our offensive line. He needs to do better. His counterpart, the other guard, Michael Jordan, played okay. He got injured. Sidy Sow stepped in. He did okay. Jordan ended up coming back. But, I mean, he's decent. He's nothing crazy. And then you go to your tackles. Zach Thomas, horrendous. He is not a left tackle. I don't even know if he is a tackle. And then he didn't play as bad as Demontre Jacobs. Demontre Jacobs is an absolute liability out there, and I have some film to prove it. I mean, I could go through a bunch of plays for this guy, but I'll just show you 2, 1 pass, 1 rush. So the first play is this pass set right here. All right, this right here is proof why not every 6'6", 320-pound man can play in the NFL. His form here is absolutely terrible and is going to be the reason Drake Maye gets hurt at some point if he keeps playing. All right, just watch. I'll break it down. So, boom, his first step, fine. That's completely fine. That's okay. It's what happens after this that's completely terrible. Right there. Lunges forward, falls for Danielle Hunter's tactics, going inside, and his weight is just completely forward. And from there, you're already screwed. Hunter's already beaten you. And then next, Hunter already by you and has a clear line at Drake Maye. And look at this. His back is towards the play. Is towards the play happening. That's terrible. That's awful. I mean, you can try and drive him out after that, but Jacobs just isn't that good. Kayshon Boutte was wide open on that play. It would have been another really good progression play. Drake Maye going through his reads and hitting Boutte there. He was wide open. And that's where Maye was about to throw to. Jacobs couldn't hold the guy for a second and a half, and then you saw what happened. That was the fumble, and Drake Maye got absolutely rocked on that play. So we need to do something about him. But just watch this this run play, this run block from Jacobs. So this is him right there. And it's going to be a double team with Onwenu. And he just completely lets the guy right by him. I mean, watch again. And this is the play. Gibson gets the face mask not called on him. Blatant. So blatant. Watch this. So they're going to double, and Onwenu is going to go to the second level, which is fine. What he did was fine. That was his job. Jacobs doesn't even use his hands there. He doesn't even use his hands to block the guy. He just goes in with his shoulder, and the guy is in the backfield before Gibson even gets the handoff. The rest of the offensive line does fine. But yeah, and then look at this. You could keep driving that way. Gibson would have that cutback lane on the outside, but he can't even do that. He just didn't even use his hands to block a guy. I don't understand how you play offensive line and you can't use your hands to block. It's simple stuff. The guy sucks. And honestly, if he lasts, it's getting late. I haven't heard anything today about a new tackle coming in as of Tuesday night. But if he's here past this weekend, or if he's still the starter, I'm really going to start questioning if we're tanking on purpose. You have guys out there like Donovan Smith, Dwayne Brown, David Bakhtiari, Charles Leno. Guys that all have plenty of experience starting in the NFL. Some of which are used to be Pro Bowl caliber players. Now, okay, yeah, they're probably washed up, but there's absolutely no way in hell that any of them are worse than what you're getting at right tackle right now. And I don't know, some of them are left tackles, but you can play right tackle. If you're a former left tackle, you can play right tackle. Not every right tackle can play left tackle, but just about every left tackle can play right tackle. They need to fix this. They need to sign someone or figure something out, because Jacobs is going to get Drake Maye killed back there. The rest of the line is bad. Pretty bad. Yeah, really bad. But they're not going to get Drake Maye killed necessarily. Demontre Jacobs is going to be the reason Drake Maye gets a terrible injury. Done with that. Defense, we all know, terrible, did awful, let up 41 points. CJ Stroud is top 5 easily. He diced up our defense. And Stephon Diggs is still elite. His route running was spectacular. And Christian Gonzalez just did awful against him. He covered Diggs for 10 routes. Diggs was targeted 5 out of those 10 routes. And Gonzalez let up 4 receptions for 39 yards and a touchdown. So, relatively speaking, that's not awful going against Diggs, but it's bad for Gonzalez, who's got high expectations, trying to prove he's one of the best in the league, and to his worst game of the season. Outside of that, I've seen enough of Tavai and McMillan. McMillan was responsible for Mixon's huge run because he lost containment. And I think it's time for Christian Ellis to step in. He's earned a shot. Hopefully we see more of Christian Ellis. He did well when he was on the field, I thought. Keon White had another really good game getting pressure. The rest of the defensive line, not so much. But Jaquelin Roy, number 94, needs more playing time. He only played once on third down, but he got a couple of sacks, so we should use him on third down more, you would think. And Aquale sucks. I think Roy needs to play over Aquale. Commercial break.
Malo is my French bulldog. He made my heart bigger when he came in my life. He never really liked his food. He wouldn't eat till like 10 o'clock at night. To me, it was saying, oh, I guess I don't want to starve. He was having skin breakouts, and putting the 2 and 2 together, what you put into your body is what you get out. I know that if I'm eating a bunch of processed food, I'm not going to feel good. So that kind of led me to Farmer's Dog. Immediately, his skin issues went away. I love what they're doing. It's already portioned out. He's eating whole foods. It's amazing.
On the College Football Dogs website, you'll find a main page that features some of our biggest and newest stories. Our conference pages for content related to your favorite team's conference. Our team store, where we have products that are available all year long, as well as gear available for a limited time only. Our podcast page, where you can see when one of the 12 plus College Football Dogs podcasts is streaming live on social media. Our subscription page, where you can join our Discord. If you're interested in becoming a contributor at College Football Dogs, email us at info@collegefootballdogs.com. If you enjoy any College Football Dogs content, we really do appreciate any donations you can make by visiting the donate page on our website or scanning the QR code here.
College Football Dogs, for the fans.
All right, I was running out of time there on the recorder, so I had to cut that short a little bit. But yeah, Jaquelin Roy, number 94, needs more playing time. And also, Marte Mapu has really stepped up. I've liked the way he's played. Unfortunately, he injured his neck in the game versus the Texans, so his status is up in the air for who knows how long. But Del Pettis will probably get more playing time if Mapu is out for a couple of weeks. It really stinks. Mapu has the injury bug. It's been a problem for this year and last year. So hopefully it's not too serious of a neck injury, but you never like to hear that. Anyway, I'm going to move on. We have the Jaguars this week in London. And yes, the Jaguars are 1-5, but the Patriots are at a huge disadvantage in the fact that the Jaguars have been in London for a week now. They played there last Sunday, and they're acclimated to being in London. The Patriots are going to have to go. They're going to leave and try and get acclimated as soon as possible, but that's going to take a toll, I think, on the Patriots, is that long flight, playing in a different time zone, and adjusting to something the Jaguars have been adjusted to for a week now, about at the point of game time, a week and a half. So that's tough. But also, for the sixth time in what will be 7 weeks, the Patriots their opponents will be missing a key player on their offense. This would be starting running back Travis Etienne, who has kind of underperformed this year, but is still really talented. In his absence will be Tank Bigsby, who's having a really stellar season this year and is going to step up big in Etienne's absence. So running back is still a problem we're going to need to worry about. But like I said, the Jaguars are in a terrible situation this year at 1-5, and they're kind of just a joke of a franchise, honestly. They handed over Trevor Lawrence, their starting quarterback, a huge contract that he has not lived up to this year yet. And it's not, their lack of success isn't in all or a lot and due to his failure. Lawrence is still a good player, but not nearly worth the money he's getting. Doug Peterson at the helm of the whole thing. Say all you want about Doug Peterson. Yeah, he beat us in a Super Bowl with a stacked roster, and he doesn't seem like the right leader for this team. I think he's getting canned at the end of this season. But their roster is not a 1-5 roster. I think the team is just completely underperforming. They have dealt with a couple of key injuries on their defensive side of the ball as well, but they should not be 1-5. They're not a 1-5 team. They have a solid line on both sides of the ball. which is not going to bode well for us. I just don't see us winning at the line of scrimmage, which is a huge problem in the game of football. One of the keys of the game is to win at the line of scrimmage. I don't see us doing that. Their offensive line is pretty damn good, but they do have a couple of mistakes in facing the blitz. However, we don't really blitz too often. If we do, it's maybe 5 people, never more than that. Maybe that'll switch this week, but if there's one player that is exploitable, it's Jaguars right tackle Anton Harrison. I could see Keon White giving this guy a tough day, a tough go around in London. Harrison is number 77, so that's their right tackle. Remember that. I think anytime Keon White's going against him, even Uche, he's going to have a tough time. On the other side of the ball, the Jaguars play 4 defensive linemen, a 4 front, and they also will send more people, obviously. They're going to give the Patriots offensive line some fits. They have Josh Hines Allen, formerly known as Josh Allen, who didn't want to get confused with Buffalo Bills Josh Allen, changed his name to Josh Hines Allen. He is very talented as an edge rusher to pair with the young player they drafted, I want to say 2 years ago, Trayvon Walker. And then they have Arik Armstead in the middle at D tackle, who is a very talented player, has been for a while in this league, and is probably going to wreak havoc. This is going to be bad. They have a really good defensive line. So you're going to see a lot of pushback on offense and a lot of push forward on defense. It's going to be the opposite of what you do want to see. And on top of that, the rest of their defense isn't too good. Their linebackers are pretty undisciplined, I would say. Kind of like what you get out of Tavai McMillan. They'll fall for the play actions. They're not great in pass coverage. And this is Devin Lloyd and Ventrell Miller. Their other linebacker shouldn't really be a problem. It's Chad Muma, I think his name is. Yeah, Chad Muma. I'm not too positive, honestly, but he's barely started in the NFL. Ventrell Miller has a high motor. He's a high motor player, flies around the field, but him and Devin Lloyd both, like I said, undisciplined at times and not too great at pass coverage. So hopefully Van Pelt keeps working in the play action pass into the game plan, and we can get these guys. Sometimes they'll leave the middle of the field wide open, which I've said multiple times Drake Maye excels at, passing over the middle of the field. So there is some chances there. On top of that, their secondary is all right. I would say it's a weak point, honestly, of their defense. Darnell Savage is out with in a concussion protocol, so odds are he's not going to play. But he may end up playing. You never know how concussion protocol is going to go in the NFL. Outside of him, though, Ronald Darby, you might know that name. He's been around for a while, has been on a couple different teams, but this year he's been really inconsistent on the Jaguars. And on the other side of their defense is Monteric Brown, who has been pretty bad this year. Let up just about a catch on every target that has been thrown his way. And, yeah, just not a good season. The Bears, who were in London playing the Jaguars last week, kind of smoked them. And one drive really stuck out to me for the Bears, and that was at the beginning of the second quarter. The Jaguars were in nickel, so they had 5 cornerbacks on the field. Like I said, cornerback is probably a weak spot. They had 5 defensive backs on the field, and the Bears ran a no-huddle offense and drove down the field really fast, and it resulted in a touchdown. So, if we see nickel defense on the field, which we may because the Jaguars might want to challenge Drake Maye, If they're feeling confident in their defense and not too confident in our rookie quarterback, we'll see. But Drake Maye's going to have step up in this game big time and deliver some good throws for us across the field. If we want to win, it's going to be due to the passing. I don't think the run game is going to be doing much against this Jaguars defensive line, especially given how the run game did against the Texans defensive line last week. And with the lack of actual NFL starting caliber starters on our offensive line, I think Drake Maye is going to have to get the ball out fast, and he's going to have to play fast. Go through his progressions fast, get the ball out quick, scramble if you need to, but he's going to need to make some really good throws, which he has the talent to do. He proved it in the game versus the Texans. We're going to rely on Drake Maye a lot this week, which is scary considering it's his second week in the league. I do believe in the kid, but I just don't like the way we match up against this Jaguars team. Like I said, they're better than 1-5. The line really scares me on both sides of the ball. I don't like that matchup at all. Like I also said, the traveling is going to hurt us, especially with the Jaguars being acclimated to being over there for the past week or so. Drake Maye is going to have another really promising game, which this will probably be the theme for a lot of the season. Drake Maye does well. Patriots still lose. My prediction by a score of 27-24. I'm just excited to see Drake Maye play again, as you all should be. I can't wait to talk about how he does against the Jaguars because, like I said, there is a chance he balls out. I think we lose in a close one. We put some decent points on the board, though. I'll catch you all next Tuesday. This is Paul Talks Patriots. Peace, y'all.